Hi friends, tonight we're making a good old-fashioned 1930s casserole dinner that I saw on a Facebook thing called Glenn and Friends. He does old-timey cooking and I kind of like that. I'm always in the lookout for recipes that would go over for the older crowd. So we're going to start. You need about 2 to 3 cups of potatoes. I brought out my mom's trusty mandolin. I've used it on red cabbage all the time. So this is just a simple, easy way to get consistent. Well, hi, honey. Hi. Hubby just came in. Consistent, but it doesn't have a guard like the Moderns one does. So I have to be a little bit careful. But anyway, you're going to get these slices of potatoes. Now, I'm using a 9x13 deep baking dish, and I had a little leftover bacon grease from this morning's bacon and tomato sandwiches that we had. And I'm just going to layer these in. Now, he said it calls for, I left the skins on. I scrub them with my Norwex vegetable scrubber cloth. And there's practically no skin left after you do that. So I'm just kind of layering these in. I think 3 large potatoes. These were kind of scrawny in some points, so I'm just gonna put them in. What the heck? Okay, so I've got those in, and he says in between each layer, we're going to salt and pepper. Now you have to remember, back in the 30s, they didn't have all the spices we have. Hang on, let me get the salt and pepper. So I'm going to try this with just salt and pepper. Just try it the way he did it. I'm just doing a little sprinkle, not a lot, because you're going to do this in between, a little bit in between each layer. But potatoes, you know, aren't very tasty per se. I'm also going to drop a few little dehydrated chips of garlic in there. But you want to be preheating your oven at 350. Okay, so this is a layered thing, and the next thing we're going to put in is a pound of hamburger. Let me get my hamburger that I've had defrosting. I get all my meat from Butcher Box. It's all organic, farm, grass raised. I love it. I wouldn't buy any other meat other than it. It's a subscription service. Comes on dry ice. They have a distribution center up in Kansas City, also in Oklahoma City, so it doesn't have to come far. It's all locally raised. Anyway, great stuff. I'm just crumbling this over the potatoes, raw. Not cooked, raw. Because this is going to cook for 2 hours. So this is probably just a really easy way to stretch a little bit of meat back in the 30s. And aren't we all looking to do that with the price of meat these days? All right, let me wash my hands. Okay, so we've got that. We're going to top it now with a layer of onions. And I'm just going to quickly peel this. I didn't plan this out to video it, but then when I started thinking about it and getting things ready, I thought, you know, somebody might be looking to change up something new. So let's do that. So I'm just cutting an onion, medium-sized yellow onion. I usually use white onions, but they're hard to come by these days. So I've been using yellow. And I'm just going to take them and kind of crumble them apart. Put that over the hamburger and the potatoes that are in there. That actually looks pretty good. And I've got some left over that I'm going to toss in there as well. Okay, it calls for green bell peppers, but right now I have a red one that is saying, use me up. So I'm just going to cut this into small, not small, but like, you know, half a ring. And I'm going to dump those over the onions. You can see that this is going to go together really quick if you have all this in your pantry, which you should, because it's all the good stuff. I never throw the tops of my peppers away. I always cut around them. Okay, so we thought now green peppers would be a little bit more color differentiation, but red peppers are a little bit sweeter. So I like that, and Rick likes that. They don't tend to give you as much heartburn as a green pepper. Now, they said top it with a little bit more salt and pepper, so we're going to put just a tad more on there. You know, you make it yours. You know what your family's tastes are. My husband likes everything spicy, so I'll probably put a little shake of red bell or crushed red peppers like you get at the pizza place. Now, the next thing would be, he said, a jar of canned tomatoes. Well, believe me, if we had to live on what our garden produced this year, we would have starved to death. I don't know what it was. We always used to put our garden in one place, and I just think the trees have grown bigger and we're fuller this year because of all the rain we had early on. And it just didn't do well. I moved the pots now up to the front driveway where they get full sun all day long. They're doing much better, but you know, we've already had a frost. We haven't had a hard freeze yet, but it's coming. So next year, I think we'll just keep it out on the driveway where it gets full sun. So I have a can of diced tomatoes, and I'm just going to sprinkle that over, okay? And then that's what the recipe called for, but I'm thinking this would be really good with some crushed tomatoes. So I've got a big old can of crushed tomatoes. This is really starting to look like meatloaf, deconstructed meatloaf. Again, just a pinch of salt, pinch of pepper. Okay, we're gonna not cover this. We're just gonna put this in the oven at 350 for 2 hours, and then I'm gonna show you what it looks like, and then we're gonna sample it for dinner, and I'm gonna tell you what it tastes like. If it tastes bad, I will tell you. But I'm thinking it smells real good, and it's simple, yet good food. Goes a long way. This would probably feed 6 to 8 people. So, yippee me, I don't have to cook, you know, for the next 2 nights or so. Between lunches and dinner. If he likes it, here's hoping. He's such a picky eater. But God love him, you know I do. So, anyway, that's this 1930s layered casserole. Now, you could put, you know, if you like carrots, I would chop them up fairly fine or grate them. His calls for celery. I know a lot of people don't like celery. I know that would give it a little bit weird flavor for me because I don't put celery in my meatloaf. I put celery in a lot of things, but not my meatloaf. So anyway, this is what this looks like. It's heavy, and it's going in the oven. Okay, right. So here we are, 2 hours in. It looks really good. I'm gonna scoop up a little now. If anybody knows my husband, you know he loves cheese. So I am cooking a little bit of cheese sauce to put over that, kind of almost like a scalloped potato. Ooh. So, bon appetit. Smells good. Everything's done. 2 hours was perfect timing. Yum. All right, so there you are, 1930s layered casserole. Looks like it's a hit. Enjoy. Be safe. Be kind. Have a great evening. Bye.